Welcome to the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio. We've got a fast-paced hour of fishing, hunting, and conservation covering the nation and the Northwest, including 13 extra minutes of local content you'll only hear on Seattle's sports radio, KJR.
It's Saturday morning, and I'm glad you're here. We're mixing things up today. We've got an interview with Paul Kim in just a second, and at the bottom of the hour, you'll hear from Bob Loomis talking about the Buoy 10 salmon fishery, and at the end of the show, we've got our outdoors news for you. Next up, we've got Captain Paul Kim on the line. He is the owner of Fish PNW Guide Service. You can also check out his Facebook page at Seattle Squid. Paul, looking at your Facebook page, you've been pretty busy fishing the last 3 days, haven't you?
Oh, boy. Yeah, indeed, John. Indeed. It's been a brisk and busy week. We've been running a lot of guests on the boat and really enjoying this wonderful weather that we've been having mid-July and chasing after some salmonids here.
The 17th, 18th, and 19th was a special salmon season in Central Sound. Your clients did great. The question is, do you think it's going to be open this weekend that we're airing right now or in the future?
That's a great question. Based on what I saw on the water, a lot of participation, definitely a lot of anglers on Area 9 as well as 10. And so we don't know. We'll look for the department to issue the notification on whether we get any bonus days. So we'll hopefully find that out sooner than later so that we can make adjustments to our routine.
Understood. It's not going to be reopened. I presume you're going to be back in Marine Area 10 going after resident coho?
Yes, we'll continue to fish for resident coho along with running our ground fishing flounder trips and crabbing combos, which has been really, really good. So having a lot of fun doing that.
Have you seen any pinks show up yet?
There's a scattering of them, a few of them here and there, but even the creel reports from the boat ramps in the straits have only been a trickle at best. So there's a handful out there, but I guarantee once early August comes around, they will come in by the thousands, if not 10,000s, right?
Well, even if you can't go fishing for the kings, you can certainly fish for resident coho with Paul Kim. And come August, the pink fishing is going to be crazy. I'm throwing some coho too. It's going to be fun. Let's talk about the humpies. They should be flooding in August. A record run is expected in the Sound this year. Great opportunity to take kids and people who've never caught salmon before to just get into them. How do you do it with your clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a couple different ways. The humpies will come in. They typically like to cruise in the higher water column. I'd say, between the surface and 60 feet of water. When you see one, that means that there are many, many more underneath. And so that visible indication of them making that presence, jumping, breaching, swimming, is a really good key for anglers on identifying where their travel lanes are heading. So one of the options that we use is using a plain white board or a white flasher, short leaders, and just a small pink hoochie on a double tied hook mooching rig. That works very, very well. Now, that's one of the methods you can use. Another way that you can employ is using light tackle gear and actually kind of pausing, waiting for the schools to come, and then casting to them with a variety of rotators or buzz bombs or even little spinners. Works really well, and it's a ton of fun.
The pink limit, is it 6 fish in the Sound this year per angler?
Yeah, so I believe it's after August 1st or 5th that the department has given us an extra bonus 2 pink on top of the 2 salmon limit. So then potentially up to a total of 4 fish, not 6.
All right, so 4 fish still. That's correct. That's a lot of fish. And pink salmon, they get a hard rap is table fare. But personally, I think if you eat them fresh and they're right off the grill, I think they taste great. They're also great in the smoker.
John, anything is great when it's fresh and properly processed and handled after it is dispatched. So I always like to bleed my fish out, and I like to ice it down. We always carry ice on the boat, and we always carry kill bags to make sure that we preserve our catch and make sure that it's the highest possible quality table fare for our guests.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Again, if you want to go fishing with Captain Paul Kim, especially take somebody out who's never been salmon fishing before, go out for the pinks. It's a ton of fun. They're going to be here in record numbers. The website to go to, fishpnw.com. That's fishpnw.com. Book your humpy trip today. Thanks so much, Paul.
You bet. I appreciate the shout-out. Thank you, everyone.
That's your first local shot of the outdoors. Now let's see what's going on across the nation.
It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Kruse.
Welcome to the show. We are in the dog days of summer, but there's lots of fun to be had outside, whether you're at the lake, whether you're at the beach, whether you're in the mountains or in the woods. There's a lot going on. As a matter of fact, one thing that's going on starting August 1st is National Shooting Sports Month, and we are going to get Zach Snow on the line with the National Shooting Sports Foundation, who's going to encourage you to head to a range near you during the month of August. All sorts of events and promotions are going on all across the nation. You'll want to hear all about this. We've also got a couple of destinations to tell you about today that you probably haven't thought of before. Pam Swanner is going to tell you about Alabama's Black Belt and the adventures you can have there. Where is this? Well, it's a swath of Alabama that stretches from Georgia all the way to Mississippi. It's known for its black soil that supports a lot of habitat. So if you're a hunter and you're into deer hunting or quail hunting or turkey hunting, or if you're an angler, especially a bass angler, they've got Lake Eufaula there, one of the best bass lakes in the entire nation, along with a whole bunch of other waterways to fish. And you'll find there's a lot to do there. It's not just fishing and hunting either, as Pam is going to tell you in a few minutes. Our other guest today, that would be Chris Wilson with Explore Crawford County. Where's Crawford County, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. It's in southeast Kansas, and it's dotted with a whole bunch of what they call pit lakes. Now, these pit lakes are actually old coal scrapings because coal mining was a big thing here all the way from the 30s to the 1970s. These areas have been reclaimed and restored and host some great fishing, some great wildlife watching, some great hiking, and a whole lot more. And while you're in Crawford County, well, you simply must eat the fried chicken. That is a big thing in Crawford County, and Chris will explain why that is and where you should go when you get there. Like I said, we've got some great guests on the show for you today, but before we get into all of that, I think we need to talk about ICAST that just wrapped up late last week in Orlando, Florida. It's a big trade show that's put on by the American Sport Fishing Association. They had over 600 exhibitors and over 12,000 attendees from 75 nations who attended. Now, one big thing about ICAST is their best new products, because this is when manufacturers roll out their products every year, and everyone is after a best of category winner, or the most important one, the best of show. And the 2025 best of show winner is from FluxJet. It's a company that makes their FluxJet kayaks. It's billed as the world's first electric jet kayak. They say it's a real game changer for anglers and adventurers alike. They are redefining the fishing experience with the lightest, easiest to launch, and most powerful kayak on the market, and no outboard motor is needed. Can't wait to see these. Definitely have to get somebody from FluxJet on the air to talk about this in the near future. Let's give you some more details about this electric jet fishing kayak. And this comes from Frank Sargent, writing for the Outdoor Wire and the Fishing Wire. Now, this kayak's called the Chimera, spelled K-Y-M-E-R-A, and it's the first kayak to combine an electric jet motor with a kayak in a very compact installation that can run in water barely deep enough to float a bluegill. Their 12-foot kayak weighs only 88 pounds. That includes the jet motor. That's really impressive. But it doesn't include the battery, which can be any standard 12-volt. Sargent says most who invest in this will probably also want a lightweight lithium metal battery to go with it. That's another $900 to $1,200. The top speed for the kayak is reportedly 5 miles an hour. But if you run at more moderate speeds, the runtime for your battery is up to 960 minutes, according to the company. Now, the huge advantage of this jet system is that it runs flush with the bottom of the kayak, which means you can power across water that's maybe 6 inches deep, which is impossible to do with any conventional propeller-type motor. The motor steers with a small side lever mounted where the operator's hand naturally meets the gunwale, and it can turn its own length at very low speed. Another important feature that's missing on most kayaks is that this one actually has navigation lights that are built in, which is really important if you're operating in the early morning hours or in the evening. One thing I don't have is the retail price on this and when it's coming out, but just look for the electric jet fishing kayak. Google it. It's going to pop up, and I'm guessing it's going to be available very soon and very popular with kayak bass anglers in particular. All right, continuing down the category of best new products in the saltwater reel division, Quantum's Cabo spinning reel, the CB4000, won first place. When it comes to fishing rods, the best freshwater rod was the Tatula cork bass rod made by Daiwa, and the best saltwater rod was the Flats Class inshore rods from Fitzgerald Fishing. Quantum also won the best rod and reel combo with their Quantum Merit combo. They call it saltwater reliability without compromise. And the best freshwater reel was from Daiwa. It's the Ballistic 3000. Moving on to fishing lures, the best freshwater soft lure was the Swag LT line-through swim bait from Z-Man Fishing Products. They also won the best saltwater soft lure category with their Prawn Star, which, as you might imagine, looks just like a prawn. When it comes to the hard lures, well, Rapala cleaned up in both the freshwater category and the saltwater category. Their Claptail 110, very unique-looking lure, won the freshwater category. And their Magnum Countdown Elite won for the best saltwater hard lure. Heading into the fly fishing category, the best fly fishing rod this year was the St. Croix Legend Elite. And the best fly fishing rod and reel combo, well, I like this one, Kickin' Their Bass, the KT B56 combo by Martin Fly. Okuma had the best fly fishing reel with their Okuma Integrity fly reel. And as for the best fly fishing waders and wading boots, Frog Togs came out on top with their men's Sonic Edge SF wader. If you need a backpack, bag, or luggage for fly fishing, you can't go wrong with the PFG Wildcast 34 large backpack from Columbia Sportswear. And as for fly lines, leaders, tippets, and line accessories, the Fly Time 24 fly storage and quick change system came out on top there. As for fly fishing technical and general apparel, that would be the Lenwood Tech hoodie from AFTCO. And then moving on to other aspects of fishing, the best fishing line, the Power Pro Max 8 from Shimano. If you're looking at tackle management, well, the Busby Swarm Hex Slide is definitely something to look into. Rapala's VMC Minnow Shaker Jig came out on top for terminal tackle. And as for fish finders, the Humminbird Explore Fish Finder series was number one in this regard. And you know, there's so many more categories, I'm not sure where to stop here, but we'll go through a couple more. The best motorized boating accessory was the Force Current Kayak Trolling Motor. And let's not forget ice fishing anglers, the best ice fishing item out there, the Strike Master Maven 40-volt electric ice auger from Rapala. If you want to find out the rest of the winners for iCast, and there are many more, just go to icastfishing.org. That's icastfishing.org, and look for the winners of the new product showcase for 2025. Turning from the world of fishing to the world of shooting, Gunsight Academy, one of the best-known training schools for shooters in the nation, is no longer going to allow Sig Sauer P320 pistols in classes. Ken Campbell, the Chief Executive Officer of the Gunsight Academy, says, Gunsight Academy has always placed firearm safety as paramount. Currently, there are significant questions being asked in our community about the operation of the SIG 320 pistol. After much consideration, we have decided that until these questions have been answered to our satisfaction, Gunsight will no longer allow the SIG 320 pistol to be used in classes effective immediately. If the SIG 320 is a government-issued duty pistol for military or law enforcement students, we will allow but discourage the use of the SIG P320 for that student. Other SIG platforms continue to be welcome in classes at the Gunsight Academy. Stick around. We've got more of the outdoors coming your way right after this short word from our sponsors.
Come explore the Dalles in Oregon for outdoors fun. Hike amongst the wildflowers, bike our riverfront trail, or visit the Gorge Discovery Center where you can enjoy a live raptor display, or even check out our National Neon Sign Museum. But don't forget the fishing. We've got salmon, steelhead, bass, walleye, and monster-sized sturgeon waiting just for you. When the day is done, tell those tall tales at one of our wineries, breweries, or restaurants and plan your next adventure. Find out more at explorethedalles.com.
When you buy a sharpener from WorkSharp, you aren't purchasing a product, you're making a very good long-term investment. Whether you're buying a knife sharpener for the field, a knife and tool sharpener for the shop, or have a knife sharpener on the kitchen counter, you'll find they are durable and will do the job of sharpening your knives and tools for years to come. Make sharp happen with WorkSharp at a sporting goods store near you and at WorkSharpTools.com.
Are you looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here for you. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer affordable platforms to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting John Kruse through his website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Hurry, though. If you wait too long, the big opportunity might just get away. AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com.
I'm Anthony Imperato, president of Henry Repeating Arms. Patriotic Americans are looking to protect and provide for their families, now more than ever. Henry has over 200 rifles and shotguns to choose from, made in America or not made at all, and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Go to henryusa.com and order our free catalog, decals, and a list of dealers in your area. That's henryusa.com. Thank you, and God bless America.
Come to Mardon Resort for some great fishing. Potholes Reservoir has been named as one of the top 10 bass lakes in the western U.S. by Bassmaster Magazine. There's also great fishing for walleye, quality rainbow trout, panfish, catfish, and more. Don't have a boat? Don't worry. If you're staying at the resort, you can fish at the marina or explore the Seep Lake south of the reservoir for good fishing and a beautiful scenic landscape. Plan your trip today by going to MardonResort.com. That's MardonResort.com.
Bad news, the Brewster Salmon Derby, scheduled for August 1st and 2nd, has been canceled due to low turnout and participation. Blame the low runs of king salmon, blame the reduced runs of sockeye, blame the reduced days of fishing. Whatever it may be, it all comes out to the same thing. Not enough interest this year, but don't worry. The Brewster Salmon Derby will be back next year better than ever. So check out BrewsterSalmonDerby.com and get ready for the Derby in 2026.
Northwest Oregon's Tillamook Coast is not only the place to go for cheese and ice cream, but also for outdoors fun. Hook into a salmon in Tillamook Bay or one of the rivers flowing into it. Harvest tasty clams from our bays and pull up a crab arena or pot full of big Dungeness crab. Visit our parks, walk the beaches, explore our forests, and enjoy our coastal communities. You are going to love it here. Plan your trip today at TillamookCoast.com. That's TillamookCoast.com.
Are you an outfitter, sporting goods retailer, boat dealer, or someone else in the outdoors industry? If you are, you know targeted advertising works best, and what would work better than advertising with America Outdoors Radio? Our hour-long show is heard throughout Seattle, Everett, and the East Side every Saturday morning, and your message will be heard there too. Better still, our rates are way more affordable than you think. Want to find out more? Contact me, John Kruse, through my website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's America Outdoors Radio, bringing you more business. You're back in with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. Our next stop is Southeast Kansas. We are heading to Crawford County, and we've got Chris Wilson on the line. He's the man behind Explore Crawford County, Kansas. Chris, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, John.
So let's talk about some of the outdoorsy things that folks can do in your neck of the woods. And I want to start off with a very special sporting goods store, John's Sports Center. Been around 70 years. I understand it was the inspiration for Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah, John Sports Center, just north of downtown Pittsburgh. They opened in 1955, and they're just one of those small town retailers. They've got activewear, hunting, fishing, archery, just kind of that one-stop shop for folks. But a few years later, the story is that Johnny Morris came through, checked it out, loved it, and started Bass Pro Shop in nearby Springfield, Missouri. They're about 90 minutes away from it.
I'll be darned. And these little mom and pop sporting goods stores hold a special place in my heart because they really cater to what's going on in the area when it comes to what they sell. And I understand that John's Sports Center is actually third generation family owned.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Well, that sounds like a great place to visit to me. Now, let's talk about some of the outdoors recreation you have there. And I want to start off with these pit lakes that you have dotted around the county. What are these pit lakes and why are they so good for fishing?
So our area was settled mostly after the Civil War, and we sit on a coal bed. And so this coal bed actually stretches across 2 counties. And then from the 1880s up to really about 1970s and the mid-70s, this was deep shaft mining in the beginning, then it turned into surface mining. And so there were these boom towns all over the area, and these, obviously the surface mining pits that were left behind, and they've slowly been reclaimed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, and this has been going on for decades. And so in addition to the Department of Health and Environment, you've got the mineland wildlife areas. Now, this is actually overseen by the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. These are public lands, and they are scattered throughout Crawford and Cherokee County. It's a horrible name. I tell folks, it's the mineland wildlife areas. It's a horrible name. There are no landmines. There's no mining done there anymore. But if you look that up on Google Maps, mineland wildlife areas, you'll see them scattered all throughout southeast Kansas. And to me, what I really like about looking it up on Google Maps is you can actually see these lakes and you can see the shapes of them. And you can see, if you just looked at it and you don't know what they are, you're like, what is going on here? Because they are. You had a whole mile sections that basically these machines, they just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they did this all up and down the coal bed. But the public land, the mineland wildlife areas, it's around 15,000 acres. I think there's an estimated 1,000 lakes. Nobody really knows for sure, but they're not all connected. And if they were, you'd have close to 200 miles of shoreline. It would actually be the biggest lake in Kansas. There's that much of it down here.
Wow. And I understand that the state has stocked these lakes with bass and crappie and catfish and other species as well.
Yeah, if you go to the Kansas Outdoors website, it's ksoutdoors.com. They list out all across the state. They list out the lakes that they stock, and they even list out what they stock them with. So that's very useful, especially down here. Like I said, it's not one big location. It's several locations scattered throughout the area.
These pit lakes, are they also used by duck hunters and waterfowl hunters?
Really not so much. I guess there's a few further west, all that are along the river. Duck hunters pretty well stay along the river for the most part. We do have a lot of deer. I know you were asking about hunting. White-tailed deer is big here in this area. We've got several hunting guides. They are listed on travelkansas.com, travelks.com. But we're told that they fill up quickly because there's just so much demand for it down here. But white-tailed deer, though, is so prevalent that we actually joke with folks. If you're out on your stand and you can't get a deer, you still have a chance that you might hit one with your truck on your way back home. They're just that thick here.
Well,
but yeah, fishing, the white-tailed deer and fishing, because of the mineland wildlife areas, are huge there.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. All right, let's talk about Lake Crawford State Park. There's a little history to the park here, and what do folks do there?
Yeah, so it's one of the oldest state parks and man-made lakes in Kansas, actually. It was built back in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and there's actually a memorial trail there who kind of talks about the history. But yeah, so it's approaching 100 years old. It's getting to that point. I guess it's about 90 years old. But it's a very small park, really. It's about 500 acres. The lake itself is about 150 acres. There's camping galore. That is the place to go for camping. There's primitive as well as RVs. And then it's a big fishing area. There's no hunting allowed there. We've got kayaks. In fact, they've actually got kayak rentals out there now. But no, it's a very pretty lake that most people are just completely unaware that even exists. But yeah, it's a very nice place to go see. They've got a little cafe there on the lake and go and relax. And it's like I said, it's a very small lake, but it's very quiet. It's off the main highways. So really, you have the folks who are camping there and fishing, and that's it. There's really nobody else out there.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about hiking and wildlife watching. I understand there's a place called Wilderness Park at the north edge of Pittsburgh, your biggest town in the county. Tell us what you're going to see there.
Yeah, so Wilderness Park is actually on one of these mining areas. It was created by surface mining. The trails are actually go through what they call spoilage, or locally we just call them dumps. It's the rocks and that was left behind as they did the mining. But what makes it interesting is that you've got this very small area. There's about 4 miles of trails, but you have a wide, very diverse. There's like wetlands areas, it's forested, grasslands, as well as a creek that goes through. And this area isn't like what you think of when you think of Kansas. We do have a lot of creeks. Because of the man-made lakes, we have a lot of water in this area, and so that means there's a lot of fishing through here. But Wilderness Park is just a great spot to kind of see all of that firsthand, kind of what was, 100 years ago and kind of what it's been allowed to become for outdoor recreation.
All right. Well, last thing we have to talk about, because this is prominent on your website, is apparently chicken and fried chicken are a real thing in Crawford County. Tell me more.
So fried chicken is a big deal here because it was, it's delicious. It's inexpensive, but the big reason why it's so important down here is because it also meant survival for families. They opened up, the very first chicken restaurant opened up in the mid-30s, so this was during the heyday of the mining era. Today, Chicken Annie's and Chicken Mary's and Gebhardt's Chicken Dinners, those three oldest ones, they're all more than 80 years old. They all seem like they're out in the middle of nowhere today. But when they were established, they were out in the middle of all the coal camps. They were out near where the old National Highway used to go through before they moved it. So you've got 3 of those, and then there's actually 3 others as well. So we've got 6 fried chicken restaurants that are all more than 50 years old. They've been featured by the Travel Channel's Food Wars, BBC Travel. But what makes it so interesting is we've just got so many in such a small area. In fact, 2 of them, the 2 oldest, are about 500 feet apart.
Well, bottom line is this, folks. Come for the fried chicken or come for the outdoors recreation. Crawford County in southeast Kansas has a lot to offer. The website to go to plan your trip is explorecrawfordcounty.com. That's explorecrawfordcounty.com. Chris, thanks for sharing all of this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Yeah, great, John. Thanks for your time.
This portion of the show is brought to you by our friends at Henry Repeating Arms, and they've got something brand new out. It is the Lever Action Supreme Rifle, and it takes lever action rifles to a whole new level. They have completely reinvented the lever action rifle here. For example, it actually comes with either a 5-round magazine to comply with certain state laws, or an AR-style magazine that will hold a whole bunch more ammunition. There's brand new, innovative iron sights, and it's also really easy to put a red dot or compact scope on top of it, too. It's lightweight, and it comes in .223, 5.56, and 300 blackout calibers with more to come. You can find out more about the Lever Action Supreme Rifle from Henry Repeating Arms, made right here in America, by going to henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com. Check out the Lever Action Supreme and look for a dealer near you.
Are you looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer affordable platforms to reach thousands of listeners. Find out more by contacting John Kruse through his website at americaoutdoorsradio.com.
Ready for more local fishing and hunting? You got it. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, right here on Seattle's Sports Radio, KJR.
It's time again for another extended Max Minute, and the famed buoy 10 fishery at the mouth of the Columbia River is about to go off. So now is the time to figure out how you're going to catch these fish. With us here to help you do that is Bob Loomis. Bob, great to have you back.
Thank you, John.
This is the most popular salmon fishery of the year that happens at Buoy 10. It's opening up on August 1st. And how would you recommend fishing this? It's a very crowded fishery.
Well, John, you're fishing that estuary water down there, the brackish, salt, fresh mix, and, it's obviously a little colored, so you're going to want to get some type of flash. So using the scent flash triangle flasher, which doesn't rotate, it rotates on its own axis. It's not creating any movement like the paddle flasher that rotates around and will move your gear. So I would be fishing a flash triangle flasher with a wiggle hoochie behind it, which creates its own movement. And, the wiggle hoochie with the crankbait type bill is absolutely fantastic for really triggering fish to bite.
And I'm guessing that since you're filling the scent flash with whatever you want in terms of tuna or shrimp or whatever scent you want, you don't need to have a bait at the end of the wiggle hoochie.
No, that's just it. You're filling up that patented triangle flasher with some type of scent, a tuna mix or a straight shrimp or herring or whatever. So you're putting out a big scent trail behind you. So utilizing, hardware like the wiggle hoochie works fantastic.
And what color for the scent flash and what color for the wiggle hoochie?
Virtually all, everybody's got their own go-tos. I personally like the chartreuse bodies with the pinks and silvers. Those are kind of my go-to colors. And the wiggle hoochie, I always love going to the chartreuses. So that's what I would go to.
Well, there you go. It's the Mack's Triangle Scent Flash and the wiggle hoochie. Use them together and get some salmon, both coho and chinook, at Buoy 10.
Game-changing. That's the best way to describe the new Scent Flash UV Triangle Flasher from Mack's Lure Company. This 360-degree rotational inline flasher features a scent release system attracting salmon to the lure behind it like no other flasher on the market. Soak the free scent pad with any type of oil or gel, or load up the cavity with any type of bait for fishing success beyond your wildest dreams. It's the Scent Flash UV Triangle Flasher, only from Mack's Lure Company.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. August 1st is the first day of National Shooting Sports Month. And with us here to tell you more about that is Zach Snow with the National Shooting Sports Foundation. Zach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, John. It's good to be with you all.
So I presume this month is all about celebrating the shooting sports when it comes to range events. Is that right?
It is. August, National Shooting Sports Month, is our month-long celebration of the shooting sports and our Second Amendment freedoms. And so we look to engage existing gun owners to get on out to the range, enjoy some trigger time with family and friends, bring somebody new. And the industry joins us by celebrating in a variety of different ways, from rolling out promotions to help boost business, to fun events just to attract a broader segment of the members and target shooters out there and attract new people. So we've got ranges that have signed on across the country. They're featured on our host businesses map that can be seen at shootingsportsmonth.org. In addition to listing their businesses, some businesses also do list specific event details. That's something that over the years of National Shooting Sports Month, actually, believe it or not, this is our 9th year celebrating the month-long campaign. And we've taken a little bit of a change in the recent years to where we really are just all about getting businesses to sign on. We send them out promo packages that they can divvy out to customers and members however they see fit. So this year, the promo bags consist of hats, shooter towels, cooling towels for those hot summer days on the range, and a nice little tote bag that you can use for bringing groceries home from the store or just heading to the range with some food.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So let's go ahead and go to that website, folks. Just go to shootingsportsmonth.org. And if you get there, you're going to find a page that lists all sorts of states. So I'm just clicking on New York right now. And there is an AIM Small Firearms Instruction course going on. Disporan's Firearms Club has an event going on. We've got the Master Shooter Supply is going to have Armed Women of America on August 15th. And the Sugarbush Armory is going to be having an event too. So, what kind of events are these that are taking place at these ranges?
They really vary. I would say a lot of ranges do the promotion of bring someone new and get X discount. So that could be discount on range time, free range time, the ability to get a rental gun at no additional cost. It really varies based on the host. And, a lot of the hosts do offer other promotions that they may not have listed on our events calendar. So I encourage folks listening to visit your local range, your local retail business, and ask them what they're doing to celebrate Shooting Sports Month. Believe it or not, we do still have businesses out there that aren't fully in the know of August being National Shooting Sports Month. So as gun owners listening right now, this is your opportunity to let them know and to get them on board for 26, which will be the 10-year anniversary.
So, Zach, as many ranges as there are listed on this website, what if there's not a range listed on the website that's near our listeners?
That's a great question, John. So if there isn't a local business, local range that is listed on our host businesses map on shootingsportsmonth.org, then I encourage you to go visit wheretoshoot.org to find a range near you and go enjoy some trigger time this August.
That's wheretoshoot.org. That's another place you can go to find a place to shoot near you. A couple of events that you have that are going on across the nation this month. One of them is a First Shots event. Tell us about this program.
Yeah, so First Shots is a longstanding program of NSSF, and essentially it's designed to provide ranges and gun clubs with an intro-in-a-box experience. So First Shots is just that. It's an introductory or refresher experience for folks to take part in. We provide our hosts with all the support materials, including the eye and ear protection, rimfire ammo, targets, handbooks, and a bunch of other resources to help.
All right, and you also have the Plus One movement that you alluded to earlier.
Yes, so the Plus One movement, that too is an ongoing campaign designed to inspire hunters and target shooters to introduce someone new. If we all took that initiative to introduce someone to target shooting or hunting, we'll secure the future of shooting sports. And so really that is something that we convey. It actually came out of National Shooting Sports Month a number of years ago, and we've had folks take the pledge to introduce somebody new. We're now engaging organizations to sign on as partners, organizations that are doing outreach efforts to help grow the sport.
And I've got fond memories myself of being out at the range, even as a Boy Scout, shooting 22s at summer camp. And, this month is not just about shooting rimfire rifles, but, it covers a lot of ground. We're talking rifles, we're talking pistols, we're talking, Old West style stuff. We are talking sporting clays, we're talking trap shooting, we're talking skeet shooting. This is all involved with this month, isn't it?
It is, any and all shooting sports. And one of the things that we challenge existing gun owners, to step out of your comfort zone and try a new sport. For those that are clay target shooters, head to your indoor range or to your local rifle pistol range and ring some steel or hit some bullseyes. Try something that's different. And, I think we recognize that all the shooting sports are a lot of fun, and we tend to deviate or dive more into one versus others. So here's an opportunity just to try new sports, share your fun with friends, and expose them to the array of activities people can do with firearms.
Well, and I'm assuming it's by design that August is National Shooting Sports Month, because after all, this really is the month, if you're a hunter, that you want to get out to the range and zero your weapon and get reacquainted with good shooting habits again.
Yep. That's definitely one of the reasons, kind of gearing up for the hunting season coming. It's also, tends to be a time of year when gun ranges and firearm retailers, they have a lot of other businesses and activities to compete with. And so this is our opportunity to also put shooting sports back on the map during the summer season when folks, are pretty busy with other recreational activities. And so really it's our way to try to boost participation during the summer season and boost sales for the retailers.
Let's talk a little bit about the National Shooting Sports Foundation. And I think a lot of folks know you're the organization that puts on SHOT Show in Las Vegas, a shooting, hunting, outdoor trade show. You also have a Project Child Lock program where gun locks are available absolutely free through police stations that receive these locks from your foundation. What else does your organization do?
Oh, NSSF. So NSSF is the Firearm Industry Trade Association, and so we are a member-based organization that is made up of manufacturers, firearm retailers, shooting ranges, shooting sports organizations, and media. And our mission is to promote, protect, and preserve hunting and shooting sports. So we do that in a variety of different ways, from advocating on behalf of the industry at the state and federal levels to safeguard our industry against, legislations that could impact our industry. We're all about developing programs to help increase participation and get people started, developing programs, campaigns, and initiatives that promote safe, responsible use of firearms. You mentioned Project Child Safe, and this has been a program around for over 20 years now, and we've had the support of the Department of Justice through grants we've received. We have over 15,000 law enforcement agencies that are partners that help to distribute the gun safety kits to their communities. And it's also an opportunity for the retailers to partner with their local law enforcement agency to do a safety day. A campaign of ours is Gun Check Storage Week, which is a campaign that we're now offering in September, just to make sure it's secure and convey that message to gun owners to check their safe storage practices and where they may need a new safe or whatnot to go on out and make that purchase.
That's the National Shooting Sports Foundation. You can find out more about the great work they're doing for firearms owners and for the industry at nssf.org. That's nssf.org. And be sure to go down to your local range and participate in the National Shooting Sports Month. The website to go to find a range near you, really simple, shootingsportsmonth.org. That's shootingsportsmonth.org. Zach, thanks for sharing all of this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, John.
This is the Rolling Knife Sharpener by WorkSharp. Designed to make sharpening fast, easy, and work every time. Snap to your angle, select your abrasive, and make sharp happen. Sharpen your kitchen knives, large and small, Japanese knives, and even pocket knives. The magnetic angle base secures a wide range of knives at 4 set angles. 3 premium abrasives deliver fast sharpening and exceptional results. The tri-axle drive system allows you to follow the curve of your longest blade. And the soft touch grip ensures comfort and safety during the entire sharpening process. Add confidence to your cuts. Make sharp happen.
Modular. When it comes to getting the most out of your Camp Chef 2-burner propane stove, that's the word to use. Sure, you can cook directly over either burner with a pot or pan, but how about putting a grill box on to serve up burgers, steaks, or chicken? Put a griddle on to cook up your breakfast. Pizza? We've got that covered too with our pizza oven that you place right over the stove. Whatever you're cooking while camping or at home, Camp Chef has got you covered. Find out more about modular stove accessories at campchef.com today.
When you think of Henry Repeating Arms, you likely think of their American-made classic lever-action rifles and beautiful Golden Boy and Tribute Edition rifles. It doesn't stop there, though. Henry also has the Henry Long Ranger and lever-action Supreme models, as well as their Big Boy revolvers, the 9mm Homesteader carbine, and the venerable AR-7 survival rifle. Check out the entire line of Henry Repeating Arms firearms and find an authorized dealer near you at henryusa.com.
Looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer an affordable platform to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting host John Kruse through his website at AmericanOutdoorsRadio.com. That's AmericanOutdoorsRadio.com. But hurry, if you wait too long, this big opportunity might just get away. That's AmericanOutdoorsRadio.com.
Hey, I'm Brant, and her name is Sherry.
Hello.
She's a friend of mine whom we were just praying for because of a surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is...
Medishare.
That is right.
Yeah. So what was your experience like with Medishare and the healthcare bills?
Honestly, Brant, seamless. And what a blessing that is when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in with your need, that is just...
It is refreshing.
Yes, that's what it is.
What I keep telling people. People love Medishare, and they love saving money. A typical family can save $500 a month.
I am very thankful for Medishare. It is so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way.
It is good different. Call now. They're easy to talk to, and you can get a price within 2 minutes. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
You're back in with America Outdoors Radio. Our next stop is the great state of Alabama. We've got Pam Swanner on the line. She's executive director of Alabama's Black Belt Adventures. It's a region of Alabama that is chock full of outdoors fun. Pam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Alabama's Black Belt. Tell us more about the neck of the woods you live in.
Yeah, the Black Belt region of Alabama is known as the hunting grounds for the state. And it's that dark, black, rich soil that supports the habitat, it supports the wildlife. So that's the reason we have such an abundance of natural resources in the Black Belt area of Alabama.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the hunting because you've got a lot to offer there. You've got turkey hunting, you've got white-tailed deer, and you've got bobwhite quail.
We do have bobwhite quail. I will say that, the population is not where it used to be decades ago, but landowners and outfitters are working very hard to change that. We've got Quail Forever, the national organization that's heavily deep in working with landowners right now in Alabama. So we're hoping that at some point in the near future, we'll be totally wild quail.
And I understand, we actually just had on the publisher of Hook and Barrel magazine, and I understand he sent a writer down there to do a story on a spring turkey cast and blast that involved bass fishing and turkey hunting.
Yes, they sent Alex Dean, he was a pleasure to work with, and he actually joined a group from the Professional Outdoor Media Association. So we had a group of, there were 5 outdoor writers. National Wild Turkey Federation was a sponsor in there, as well as POMA. And actually, Alex was the only one that harvested a turkey during that media event. And he had never hunted for turkey before. So if it had to happen to just one person, it needed to be him, and it did.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure it's going to be a great story in the magazine, too. Now, let's talk about the bass fishing. You have some very, very well-known bass lakes in Alabama's Black Belt, don't you?
We do. In fact, the main one is Lake Eufaula, which is just right there in Eufaula, Alabama. It hugs the Georgia line, and it is known as the bass capital of the world. So they host, of course, professional tournaments all the time. But the Alabama River runs through our area, too, from about the Montgomery area, midpoint of our region, and then to the west. And some great fishing on that water as well.
And it's not just bass fishing that's going on in Alabama.
It's not just bass fishing, right. There's crappie and catfish. And we have fly fishing for shoal bass over on the east side of the region. So there's just a variety of things. We've got everything, anything anybody wants.
I love it. I mean, that sounds like paradise in my opinion. You've got everything that everybody wants when it comes to hunting and fishing. Right. But wait, as they say, there's more. You've even got whitewater rafting on the Chattahoochee River. That's a place I remember from my time stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia.
Yes, we do, and that's where the fly fishing takes place as well. So the Whitewater Express is a company that has an outfitter that provides the whitewater rafting, and they also have a zip line. It is the only zip line in the nation that traverses 2 states. So you travel from the Alabama side to the Georgia side and back.
Oh, that is cool. But wait, again, there's more. You've got a birding festival coming up August 1st to the 3rd, don't you?
Birding is a great activity in the Black Belt. Another one of those outdoor recreational assets that we have and take pride in. It comes up, actually, it's the first weekend of August. So, yes, it's just around the corner. And the Black Belt birding has gotten a lot of publicity through National Geographic, CBS, the New York Times, and the list goes on and on.
So when people get a hold of you and say, hey, we want to visit your region, and we maybe want to do some fishing, maybe want to do some hunting, where are you sending them to stay?
Well, we have more than 50 outfitters in the Black Belt that offer a combination of deer hunting, turkey hunting, quail hunting, wild boar hunting, some duck hunting over on the west side, of course, small game, dove shoots. There's just a lot of different things that anybody can take part in, whatever their passion is. And so we work with the outfitters, and then we also have the great public lands in the area for hunting.
And I guess we should talk about that. When people think of public lands out west, they're thinking of Forest Service lands, Bureau of Land Management lands. What kind of public lands are available for hunting in Alabama?
Well, those are all managed under the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. You've got the wildlife management areas, and you've also got the forever wildlands that are land parcels that have been purchased and will be maintained forever as wildlands for outdoor activities, primarily hunting.
Sure. And you've got some state parks worth visiting too, don't you?
We do. We've got there's only 8 resort state parks in the state, and we have one of those in the Black Belt. And again, it's over in the Lake Eufaula, right there on the waterway. And then we've got Roland Cooper State Park, which is kind of mid-region, great camping, hiking, birding, tiny cabins. There's a lot of outdoor recreation. So we take pride in that, and that's really what our economic development tool is, our outdoor recreation.
One other thing we have to talk about. If people are coming to Alabama, there's a lot of foodies out there. They might like to hunt, they might like to fish, they might like to hike and bird, but they want a good meal. What are a couple of restaurants that you would send people to, and what are their specialties?
Oh, my goodness. I think what we are best known for are, we have a lot of farms in the area, farm to table. We have James Beard winter chefs in some main areas like Auburn mainly in the Black Belt, David Bancroft, and we have a lot of mom and pop type restaurants that serve fresh vegetables and we're meat and threes, as we call them. We're known for fried catfish, and barbecue, always barbecue. The best barbecue. We'll put it up against any in the nation.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's wrap things up with a website. If folks want to visit Alabama's Black Belt, what's the website and Facebook page they should go to?
It is alabamablackbeltadventures.org or .com, either one.
All right, that's Alabama's blackbeltadventures.com. Whether you're into bird hunting or deer hunting or small game hunting or into fishing for largemouth bass and catfish and crappie, want to do some birding or other outdoors adventures, it's all waiting for you at Alabama's Black Belt. Make plans to head there soon. It's Alabama's blackbeltadventures.com.
Come visit.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you.
And now it's time for one of my favorite segments.
It's time to talk record fish.
From Outdoor Life, we learned that Kansas just certified a new record blue catfish, and boy, oh boy, it's a big one. The fish was caught by Daniel Mayer of Agency, Missouri, and it weighed 121.1 pounds. Mayer caught it on the Kansas side of the Missouri River pre-fishing for a tournament. He fishes quite a few tournaments every year for catfish. Mayer's blue catfish taped out at just under 60 inches long and was caught using common carp as bait. His new state record catch easily outstripped the Kansas record that had stood since 2012, 102.8-pound blue catfish caught by Robert Stanley. Now, on May 15th, while he was pre-fishing for this tournament, he was struggling earlier in the day, but around 9:30 p.m., he hooked what would become his first ever blue catfish over 100 pounds. Mayer told Kansas Wildlife and Parks that, "I've caught some big fish over the years, but this was my first century fish. When I finally got it to the boat, I knew it was over 100 pounds, but I had no idea just how big it really was." Mayer, who was fishing by himself, had a real job wrestling the fish into his boat, but he did. And a fisheries biologist with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks helped Mayer weigh his fish on a certified scale and verified his catch. Commenting on the fish, Mayer said, "As a trophy blue catfish angler, you dream of moments like this. It still feels surreal." Way to go, Daniel. That is one heck of a record, and I hope you mount that fish on the wall.
Congratulations on your new record.
And on that note, it's time to wrap things up. If you didn't hear the whole show, you can hear it as a podcast. Just look for America Outdoors Radio. If I don't upload it right away, be patient. I am kind of a one-man band here, and I make it a point to get the radio shows out first, and after they air, when I have time, I get the podcasts out for you too. Also, check out our website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com to find stations and airtimes all over the nation in case you're traveling this summer. And, oh, by the way, we've got another show, too. That would be Northwestern Outdoors Radio. It's primarily heard in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. But if you are into the outdoors when it comes to the Pacific Northwest and the Rocky Mountain West, give us a listen. You can find stations and airtimes at our website at northwesternoutdoors.com. And just like this show, we podcast Northwestern Outdoors Radio too. Till next time, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're blessed, and do remember this. It is your country and you're outdoors, so get out there and enjoy it.
backcountryhunters.org. Join the fight for our public lands and waters today.
Don't leave yet. We've got one more local shot of fishing and hunting to wrap up the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio.
I'm glad you stuck around for the end of the show because we've got some outdoors news to share with you, and we'll start off on the fishing front, where you can fish today in Marine Area 10 and keep a hatchery Chinook. It's part of the 3 days that open from the 24th through the 26th. And with any luck, we might even get one more 3-day session, depending on the harvest quota. Speaking of harvest quota, it's been pretty low in Marine Area 11. That is open 7 days a week now. And you're allowed to keep 2 salmon a day, including 1 hatchery Chinook. Better still, starting August 1st and running through September 30th, you can keep 2 hatchery Chinook plus 2 additional pink salmon. On the other hand, not so good news coming out of the Columbia River from Hanford Reach and into the Upper Columbia. All sockeye fishing has been cut off through August 31st. As a matter of fact, the only part of the Upper Columbia that is open is between Rocky Reach Dam, just north of Wenatchee, to Wells Dam, south of Pateros, where you can fish Wednesdays through Saturdays for hatchery Chinook. The reason for the closure? A lack of sockeye. Only 165,000 have come over Bonneville Dam. Far, far less than the record run we had last year, or even the 10-year average. We're only about half of that. Here's hoping we have a better run next year. If you do want to fish for sockeye, well, Lake Wenatchee is an option. Some 36,000 fish had passed through Tumwater Dam as of earlier this week, though there are lots and lots of crowds there, especially with the Upper Columbia sockeye run being closed. Another option, Baker Lake. Nearly 45,000 fish as of the 22nd had been transferred to the lake, and that makes for some really good fishing. So get your sockeye on and go fishing this summer. Finally, according to the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, this is Bass Week. It officially ended yesterday. And one place you can go fishing now and through the rest of the summer for bass is Potholes Reservoir in eastern Washington. According to Nathan LaFrance at the Mardon Tackle Store, the largemouth bass fishing has been excellent. He suggests fishing spooks early and late. Topwater's always fun. And he says to always have a Senko rig to follow up on missed fish. They've been catching them all the way up to 5-pounders. As a matter of fact, Daniel Ford is featured on the last Mardon Fishing Report, the toad of a 5-pound bass that he caught. As always, if you need a place to stay, look no further than mardonresort.com.
That's all for this week, but don't worry. We'll do it all again next Saturday morning from 7 to 8, right here on Seattle's Sports Radio, KJR.